Two men sit across a table, both phones face down, both men bleeding somewhere, and neither one says a word about it. They talk about the game. They talk about the weather. They talk about the work. And they walk out of that room exactly as alone as they walked in. This is the quietest crisis a man will ever live through. Not a loud one, a silent one. And it ends the day one man is brave enough to break the silence. Welcome to the Two-Path Challenge, Week 2. Every day you stand at the same fork, the path of chaos or the path of clarity. Last week the work was inside you. Discipline, the rep, the threshold you cross alone. This week the work moves outward. Because a man was never built to carry the whole weight by himself. This week is about brotherhood. It is about ending the isolation that is quietly killing good men. 7 days, one arc. Let us walk it. It starts with honesty. The path of chaos keeps every conversation on the surface. It stays light. It talks around the wound and never about it. Pride calls that strength. It is not strength. It is a wall. And a man behind a wall slowly starves. He starves in a room full of people who would have helped if only they had known. The path of clarity says the true thing first, the hard thing, the where am I actually tripping thing. Pride is a wall. Vulnerability is a bridge. You go first. You say it out loud. And the man across the table who was carrying his own weight in silence finally exhales. Because now he is not the only one. The Stoics called this living according to nature. A man is a social creature by design. He is a part of a whole, and the part that cuts itself off from the whole begins to die. Honesty is how you stay connected to the thing you belong to. It is not soft. It is the hardest, most honest rep you will do all week. Once one man is honest, something can happen between two men that cannot happen alone. They sharpen each other. The path of chaos competes. It sizes up another man and quietly hopes he stumbles because his fall feels like your rise. That is a small way to live. It leaves you surrounded by rivals and short on brothers. The path of clarity does the opposite. As iron sharpens iron, one man sharpens another. You push a brother to keep your pace. You let him push you to keep his. His victory is not your loss. His victory is your blueprint. So study the man who is doing it right. Get close enough to catch what he has and become the kind of man another man can sharpen himself against. Lift, do not measure. But you can not sharpen a blade that is hidden in a drawer. And this is where most men lose the fight. Not in the open, in the dark. The path of chaos keeps the struggle hidden. It keeps the scar out of sight where no one can judge it, and it calls that privacy. It is not privacy, it is isolation. And isolation is the soil where a man quietly rots. The path of clarity sends the message. It invites one trusted brother to look at the scar, not to fix it, to witness it. Shared accountability is the covenant of growth. A man who reports to someone changes. A man who answers to no one drifts. So pick one brother, just one. Give him permission to ask you the real question. That single act pulls the blade out of the drawer and into the light. And here is what most men miss. The brother you let in does not think less of you for the scar. He thinks more of you for showing it. Trust is not built by looking strong. It is built by being seen. And that changes what you owe the man walking next to you. Picture two men on a trail, side by side, and a silence between them that is heavier than it should be. The path of chaos lets it sit. It notices a brother is off. It feels the weight. And it says nothing because asking might get awkward, and awkward is uncomfortable. So comfort wins, and a man walks home still alone. The path of clarity breaks the silence. It asks the real question. Not how is work? How is your soul today? The silent crisis of men ends the moment one man is brave enough to ask, and then brave enough to be quiet and actually wait for the answer. Hear this clearly, because these next days are heavy. You are not being asked to be anyone's rescuer. You are not a fixer. You cannot carry another man's whole life, and you were never meant to try. Brotherhood is not treatment. It is presence. You hold a brother up. You do not heal him. And if you are the one carrying more than you can hold, hear this too. If you are carrying more than you can hold, you do not have to do it alone. In the U.S., call or text 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline 24/7. Asking for a hand is not weakness. It is the same courage you have been building all week pointed at yourself. Now, once you have asked the hard question, the answer demands something of you. Action, the path of chaos, offers words. Let me know if you need anything. It sounds kind. But it quietly hands the whole burden of asking back to the man who is already struggling. And most men will never ask. The path of clarity just shows up. It does not wait for the invitation when the duty is plain. It grabs the other end of the couch. Virtue is not a warm feeling you have about a man. It is a thing you do for him. Courage and justice live in your behavior, not your intentions. So stop offering to help. Find the one obvious thing a brother needs this week and simply do it. Then there is the rarest gift one man can give another. Not advice, presence. The path of chaos is already rehearsing. It half listens. It waits for the wape so it can say its own thing, or fix a problem the man never asked it to fix. That is not listening. That is waiting to talk. The path of clarity puts the phone away. It holds the eye contact. It listens to understand the weight the man is carrying, not to build a reply. Because a brother does not always need your answer. Often he just needs to not be alone inside it. So give one man your undivided attention this week. No screen, no fix, just you. Fully there. And at the end of the week, Brotherhood asks the hardest thing of all, to stay. Picture a brother in the hardest hour of his life, and you standing in the hallway outside his door. The path of chaos reaches for the exit line, thoughts and prayers. Let me know if there is anything I can do. Then it leaves because staying is heavy, and helplessness is deeply uncomfortable. The path of clarity stays. It stands in the gap when a man cannot stand for himself. You do not need the perfect words. You do not need to fix it, and you cannot. You just need to not leave. A man does not have to be whole to hold another man up. The Stoics taught that we do not control the storm that lands on a brother. We only control whether we run from it, so do not run. Sometimes the strongest thing you will ever do is sit in the dark beside a brother and refuse to go. So look at the whole week. Honesty, sharpening, pulling the struggle into the light, asking the hard question, showing up, presence, standing in the gap. 7 days, and every one of them a single blade against the same enemy, the isolation that convinces good men they are alone. They are not alone. You are the proof, because a man who says the true thing gives another man permission to say it too. That is how the silence breaks. Not with a program. With one man choosing clarity in front of another man. Here is the core truth of week 2. You do not become strong so you can stand apart from other men. You become strong so you can stand next to them. Strength that isolates you was never strength. It was pride wearing armor. The strong man is the one who lets himself be known and who refuses to let a brother disappear. A wall protects nothing worth protecting. A bridge carries the weight of two. So here is your work. This week, be the man who breaks the silence first. Say the true thing. Ask the real question. Show up without being asked. And when a brother is in the dark, stay. If you want a hand walking these 7 days, the free 2 Paths Field Guide lays them out one at a time with the practice for each. You can find everything at door.iron, strengthens.in. Choose the path of clarity and do not walk it alone.